Oh my goodness, Najee, Kenny Pickett also, and he banks out. No, oh my, what's going on? Let's go, TD! What the hell was that? Let's go! Feed it! Yes! Yes! Let's go! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go! Holy dooly, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. By the way, my headphones do give it away. There will be a guest coming on today. But how you guys doing? When I'm wearing the headphones too, it is like, I don't know. I hope you guys don't wear headphones. And it's like just when I scream in that when I was watching the throw from Pickett to Najee, which is awesome, by the way, Ravens game, it hurts my ears. But anyways, how you guys doing? We've got Daredevil in the house. We've got George. And I reckon people will come in after. But there's a reason why I'm wearing headphones today. Got a special guest all the way from Australia. So it's our time zone. It isn't Matty Peverill. Matty Peverill's busy working, and we do our work on TDU. But I've got another mate I'm going to introduce right now. Is my good mate, Nick. What's going on, Nick?
Morning, Mark. How are you?
Mate, I'm very good. How are you, mate? All the way down in Melbourne, Australia.
All the way down in Melbourne, huh? Yeah, beautiful, beautiful sunny Melbourne this time of year.
Yeah. So welcome to the program and welcome to Steelers Nation Australia, which is good because I do get a lot of guests on here and a lot of YouTube, channel dudes from America. But it's good to have another Australian. You're like the only. I think you're the only. You might be the second Australian on the program. I think.
There you go. Oh,
hey?
I'm honoured.
Hey, because I think I do stuff with Matty Peverill. You're a part of the page on Steelers on Nation Australia on Facebook, and I think I put a question out there a few weeks ago, right? I said, anyone who want to do a podcast? You're like, yep, I'll do it.
That's it. That's how we're here right now. Absolutely.
So here we are. So I want to find out, right? And so does the audience. I want to find out your story. People have heard my story a million times. I became a fan because I was watching Madden and the movies back in 2000s, and it was the black and gold colors. That's why I became a fan. But why did you become a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers? We'll start with that.
Alrighty, let's go. Not too great a story, but here we go. Yeah, I mean, I think we've chatted offline previously before about like growing up watching the NFL in the 90s here in Australia and not getting like too much access to games, but we sort of get like one or two games in the 90s and sort of followed it from afar, but like, yeah, didn't really know the rules, so on and so forth. And then like 2000s, it started to become a bit bigger over here. We started to get a bit more coverage, and yeah, started to get into it more. Some mates were into it, and then the reason why I chose the Pittsburgh Steelers just so happened to be after the 2005 season when we beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I was watching late night TV one night, and Big Ben Roethlisberger was on Letterman, I think it was. And yeah, he's the reason why I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I remember you saying, because I should have had that photo ready, and maybe I'm going to try and find the photo throughout the show. I have a photo with me and Letterman, and we're going to find out with a poll near the end if that actual Letterman. I think I met Letterman in Banff. I'm pretty sure it was him. I remember you saying that. Yeah, okay. So you're watching late night, and then you saw Big Ben on there, and you thought, okay, this is going to be my team because he won, and then. Well, actually, what a great time to start cheering from too. 2005 100%. Was their second year, and now we're going into Kenny Pickett's second year too. And then they won that, and you got Letterman on the old days, and then you went crazy from there, right?
That's it. Pittsburgh Steeler fan ever since.
That's unreal, man. All right, so when you're back there, what intrigued you think most to the game, or what was it about the game, the American football, that said to you, I want to start following this more and more?
I mean, it was just something. Well, to us as Aussies, we've obviously got our own Australian rules, footy, and know that inside out growing up. But to me, yeah, it was something new and exciting. And I'm just a sports fan, like through and through, right? So yeah, it was something new and exciting. I mean, the NFL just does an incredible job these days of putting on a show. It's a spectacle. Every game means something. Yeah, I could talk for hours about how good how good it is when the NFL season comes around.
Yeah, they definitely know how to do that too with because I got into this with the films, right? They know how to really showcase the big hits, the big throws, the running backs, the NFL films of like just the old guys like, Barry Sanders and those kind of guys, running through the line, or Franco Harris back in the day.
Yeah.
All those kind of things, and just the old school football. They can showcase. Okay, you wear their helmet, the big pads on, they thump each other. That's, I think, what appeals to Australians. We sit back and go, "Whoa, you can do that! You're allowed to hit that guy like that." Now the rules are different now too. In this era where you can't really touch anyone, and last year you try and touch Tom Brady like on the shoulder pads, you get a flag. But yeah, man, I see what you're saying because I'm the same. Like when they film things a certain way, and I'm kind of glad though. I'm kind of glad as you're an Australian, you chose someone. I think you have to you come to a certain point, right? Where you're like, okay, I know the team a little, I know the NFL a little bit, and I'm going to choose this team. And aren't you lucky you didn't choose the Browns?
Oh, I count my blessings every day. Absolutely. No, I'm so happy with my choice.
Or the stinking Bengals or someone like that.
There we go. Yeah,
Or you could have been one. I don't know if you have them there down in Melbourne in Central Coast here where I'm from. We have Raiders fans that wear all the gear because they think they're cool. They think they're like Ice Cube and whatnot. Do you have them down there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that was like such a cultural thing, right? That like sort of transcended sport back in the 90s with NWA and Ice Cube and all them wearing like Raiders caps. So that's sort of like transcended sport a little bit. But you still see those people around for sure.
We have it where it's not like more the NWA stuff or that kind of like 90s crowd. We have it where the lads are doing it now. The lads with the bum bags and stuff. And you walk up to them and go, "Hey, man, Raiders." They're like, "What?
Yeah.
Who?" You're like,
yeah, exactly.
I tried talking to a bloke once. I think it was in the store. And he didn't even know who John Madden was or Al Davis, the owner, has passed away now. Anything like that. I'm like, they just wear it because it looks cool, right?
Yeah.
But it's good to see it. Like I've had trouble too with other fans where you've met Steeler fans and they would wear Troy jersey or whatnot. And they wouldn't understand who the player is. So it's kind of rare now that I run into someone in the street that understands the game and knows like who the Pittsburgh Steelers are. Because when you wear your stuff, do you ever get that down in Melbourne when you wear your stuff outside? Do you ever get anyone stopping you?
Oh, rarely. It's like someone will come up and say like, "Hey, go Steelers," or "Nice Steelers top," and they'll know who the team is and they'll know what it means. But you get NFL fans down here. But yeah, you're always going to get people that are just wearing team colors and team tops just for the sake of it, and because it looks cool, I guess.
I remember seeing once when I was somewhere out on the coast. I remember seeing an NRL club. It was a guy wearing like Rabbitohs shorts and then like a West Tigers shirt, and I was like, they're complete two different clubs.
Yeah,
I was like, what are you
that
doing?
Doesn't make
man?
sense.
It makes no sense. All right, so let's find out more about the Nick story. So the Nick story, you found out the football team from Letterman. If I can try and find that photo, I will near the end, but it's going to take me a little bit of multitasking because it's a great photo. But also, so in 2004 you started watching, right? The big question is, have you been to Pittsburgh?
I haven't yet. It's high on my bucket list. I'm hoping to go later this year.
Yeah, you're trying to organize a game, aren't you, this year? Is that right?
Yeah. So I think around I think we chatted last week around week 13, 14. I think there's the Cardinals and Patriots we play at home.
Okay.
So like early December I'm trying to get over there.
So Cardinals, Patriots, or actually we talked about too the flex game too as well. So you might do. I think it should be fine if it's a Patriots versus Steelers. I think it won't be flex. I think Steelers will be up there, and we're going to start talking about breakout plays in a minute and where the season's going to roll on. But I think you should be fine for that. Cardinals won't move anywhere. That should be an easy W. That should be a fun one. Actually, the Steelers will make that a heart attack game for sure. They'll make it where they're losing by 7 points and they win back. 2-point conversion to win. But yeah, if you're gonna have the choice of those two games, it'll be fantastic. So you've been to the States before, have you? You've been to the States before, right?
Yeah, I've been to the States a few times, but most of the time spent on the West Coast. I haven't been over to Pittsburgh, but I can't wait to go.
Yeah, right. It's cool, man. And look, you've been a fan for a very long time. It's like me when I first got there. It took me 17 years to get there. And the minute you get there, you're like, oh, I used to play that on Madden. I used to like watch it on ESPN. I seen all the movies there. And it's like, now I'm here. And you're like, far out. That's cool. Because when I was there, Steelers versus Ravens game, Antonio Brown extension, went nuts, insane. I stayed back half an hour and just really took everything in, right? Took everything in and was like, yes, I'm here, because the minute you walk away, you can't go back. It takes a long time to get back, right? So I was one of the losers who just stood around the stadium, looked around going, like a movie experience, right? But yeah, I
Absolutely.
reckon, man. I reckon if you get there, you're gonna have a fantastic time. You'll go tailgate. You'll meet people. Yeah, I don't know. You'll have like one of the best times. You'll hear Renegade once or twice, right? You'll have one of the best times. You're wearing the black and the gold. You're running around town. You're gonna see actually a really good team. We're gonna talk about the team right now. Transition into some Steelers talk, which we're here for. What's your first of all, what was your most impressive signing out of all the signings that you saw in the offseason with the free agents? We'll start with that.
Ooh, that's a tough question. I mean,
I know, right?
we've had quite the active off season, so that's a tough question. Look, watching draft day, I was stoked that we moved up and got Broderick Jones. We got some help for Kenny Pickett. Day 2, I was nervous. Were we going to trade that pick? Were we going to take Joey Porter Jr.? But I'm so happy we got Joey Porter Jr. Especially after losing like Cam Sutton back there. I think he's going to be crucial to our backfield this year. Yeah, I think those two are probably the most important. Well, from draft day, I think they're probably the highest on my radar from draft day.
What do you think about like guys like Patrick Peterson, Isaac Seumalo, those blokes coming in, Count O'Neill? I think they're going to be really competitive in this team.
Absolutely, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Patrick Peterson is an amazing signing and just shows how well thought out it was between Omar Khan, Coach Tomlin, and Andy Weidel there to bring someone in with his experience. Like, even if he's not playing snaps every game, which he probably won't, just sort of the leadership that he can bring in to kind of mentor Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice and all those other young guys.
Yeah, Peterson's funny because I think like Peterson he's going to play a role where he probably might start on the outside. A lot of Steelers talk about he might play on the outside and work his way into the slot. And then like he should be, I think, on the field most times with Minka and stuff like that working together. But there's also a lot of connections. Me and Matty did a show on TDU the other day, and Patrick Peterson has a lot of connections with Shannon Sullivan, who should be our slot guy. A lot of people are saying that he won't be the slot, but he's played I think 85% snaps in the slot. And he also has a lot of connections with Marcus Golden as well. He played with him. So, yeah, Patrick Peterson knows a lot of Cardinals. And also what the free agent period told me is that Andy Weidel, the assistant owner, brought in a lot of Eagles guys with Seumalo and the Herbigs, those kind of things. But going back to Brian Brown's point, no, it wasn't Brian Brown. It wasn't Cardinals versus Patriots.
No, definitely not. I'm not traveling all that way to go see Cardinals versus Patriots.
That would be the Mac Jones versus Kyler Murray in Foxborough, and the score would be like 10-7 or something, 10-6.
Yeah.
No, it was either the Steelers versus Cardinals at home. I think it's at home, and or it was Steelers versus Patriots at
on
home
a Thursday night.
So
yeah.
So no, it wasn't those two together, which would be Cardinals are really falling off. I reckon they might be the worst team in the NFL this year. They were getting rid of most of their players. I'm not a big fan of Kyler Murray. I don't think he has the actual quarterback attributes you need to have. Hasn't got the heart or the ticker, as we say here in Australia. Just don't see it. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Like the draft guys coming in too, the Porters and like, okay, I think I showed you this last time. I wish I had the real reaction, but I showed you this picture the other day when we're doing a bit of a pre-run, a bit of a program warm-up, right? I showed you this. What do you think?
Yeah.
Like, come
Absolutely.
on, man.
A plus.
Look what we got here, right? Joey Porter Jr. Nick Herbig was probably going to be on the outside too. You have Keanu Benton who's going to work inside defensive tackle. What are your thoughts on the big fella Darnell Washington as well? We signed him in third round, I think.
I think so, yeah. I mean, just seeing some of his film on tape, he looks like an absolute beast. I mean, an extra blocker there and like 2 tight end sets. Just provides us with more flexibility along that front. Hopefully we get him involved in the pass game too, because he's just I feel like he's just going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's because we got I actually think that I don't know about this. I'll get your take too. We're going all around the shop, but it's all cool. We're in the off season.
Yeah.
I actually think the Steelers would run 4 tight ends. I think they're going to get moved in there. I think Gentry will stay there as a blocker too. I think Darnell makes the team, of course. If Darnell doesn't make the team, they're lost their mind. And then I think Connor Haywood will be fullback, halfback, tight end. You know, what are your thoughts on we'll go through all we might as well go through the whole tight end room. What are your thoughts on Frymouth? He's gonna have a breakout year, man. If we're talking about breakout players, he's gonna have a breakout year.
I love Pat. I love Pat's past couple of years. He's a great catcher of the ball. Can get inside and underneath coverage. His yards after catch, I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but he's always trying to move that ball forward. He's great.
Yep.
He reminds me of a little bit of Heath Miller, a little bit of Jesse James there about him of recent tight ends. I hope he has a massive season for us.
And by the way, just for record, we have to say Jesse James caught that ball. I think every time his name comes up, we have to got to say it. He caught that ball versus the Patriots. Do you remember that?
Absolutely, I sure do. That was a touchdown.
The refs, mate. The refs are just like that game. I think in that game from memory, I don't remember what year it was, but if we won that game, then the Steelers win the number 1 overall seed, and then Jaguars go and 2017 it might have been, and then Jaguars go and play Patriots. We don't play Jaguars. Jaguars don't beat us at home because they had a really good, like the offense is carved us up. They won like 45-43 or something like that. Jesse James extended the ball over. It went like this, but didn't get touched. Therefore, he caught it over TD. You break the plane, and then they changed the rule after. And it always happens with the damn Patriots that the rules change after the play. The same with the Woodson fumble. It was a fumble by a mile back in 2001 or whatever that was, right? So, yeah, I don't know how that Jesse James, he caught that ball. I think that's you know. And you know what's kind of cool, though? It's cool the Steelers have 6 Super Bowls because if they didn't, you'd be feeling a bit more filthy. But because they do, it's like, it's cool. It's you know, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. We're not Browns fans here. Browns and Bengals never won one, right? They haven't won it at all.
Yeah.
So, no. Okay, what about the next bloke, Gentry? Now, he can catch, but he's more of a blocking guy. What do you think about? He's 6'8". What are your thoughts about Gentry?
Yeah, he's a big dude as well. I love the size we've got in that tight end room now. 3 absolute monsters there. Obviously, Connor Hayward will kind of switch around to more of maybe a fullback, halfback role.
Yep.
I love the depth that we've managed to put together through this offseason in all sorts of rooms. Our wide receivers as well, all over.
Or we brought in Allen Robinson too to be our third receiver, right? So
we did.
And I guess then finally to finish off, what about Connor Hayward? And what are your thoughts on him on his development? He's big. He could also be a breakout. We're talking breakout players. He could be a breakout player as well.
Absolutely could. He showed a little bit in the last couple games of the season there. Some couple of crucial catches and a touchdown for us. Just going to be interested to see how we utilize him. We've got so many options now. To steal a quote from Kenny Pickett the other day, he's like, we've got the players, we've got to go execute. So, it's on them now.
You're talking about breakout players. What do you thought about Kenny Pickett? We could name the whole team here soon, eh?
We could go through the whole roster. Kenny, I mean, he's the one we have to have highest hopes for, right?
I reckon so.
Just take the leap from year 1 to year 2. We've shored up that defensive front for him. We've brought in some experience at wide receiver. We've got some absolute monsters at tight end, which we just discussed. And I hope Kenny takes the leap. I think he wants it as much as we all do.
By the way, I've been looking. I don't know how women do this multitasking thing. Not to say that women can do it. Don't cancel me, internet. Don't cancel me yet. I'm just saying it's very hard to multitask. I have found the David Letterman photo. Do we want to do that for a quick halftime break to find out if it's David Letterman?
Let's go.
It's dead set. I'm telling you what. Where's the photo? I got 2 of them. It's okay. Let me write this down. So it's okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me bring it up in a minute. I found the David Letterman photo was in Banff. Right. But before we do that, let's get another breakout player. So we got Kenny Pickett there. What about your thoughts on the running back situation? Are you keen for Najee Harris and Warren?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they showed so much in our last few games together, working as a duo. Incredibly excited by what Jaylen Warren can do. He just runs through people.
Too. Oh, dude.
Yeah, he just ran through people last season. That was awesome to watch. I'm keen for Najee not to have 500 touches again this season. So if we can kind of, split them between him and Jaylen and run, all sorts of sweeps and all sorts of different things.
Oh, you said jet sweep. No, Matt Canada. Nah, I think it'll be different this year. I think with that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Matt Canada then? Because it's always good to hear other people's perspectives too.
Well, we shouldn't just keep it to players to have a breakout season, right? We want Matt Canada to have a breakout
that's
season
true.
too. Again, like he's got the players now. He's got the talent there. Second year with Kenny. We need Matt Canada to, I don't know, get inventive, show us something.
Yes,
we've got the talent there now.
We just need Matt Canada to pretty much like score points. I think he's regressed. He's regressed every single year, and I think it was the first year with us. I think it was 22 points a game or 21. The next time it was 18. Last year was 18.1, right? Something like that. So it was just like every year. Look, I'm going to give him another chance. I think another new offensive coordinator with the same player or same players, and like the supporting cast around the offense is like, if you don't do something this year, then something has, missed out. Like, I don't know. I just feel like that the team this year is, it's bound to be more successful, right? You know what I'm saying? Are you more excited for the offense or defense? Because this year I'm more excited for the offense.
Probably defense through the off season and the signings, and just know what they're capable of. I think we've seen more of our defense coming to the fore over the past couple of seasons, because our offense has kind of struggled a little bit and regressed, like you said. I want our offense to kind of step up to the level of our defense, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, we lost TJ for what, like 7 games last year? Nine games?
Yeah, 8 or 9 games, and then even he talked about the last few weeks too. They just Gonskis, right? So, I'm actually this year. I'm a defensive guy. I love defense. Troy, James, Debo Harrison. Debo Harrison, one of my favorite players. This year, I'm more excited about the offense because I just think the players they have, Kenny Pickett's, chance for the second year jump is going to be awesome. I'm going to do a quick roll call and bring some people in, say hello to them, and then I'm going to show this. I found the picture of David Letterman. We'll do a quick halftime break, and then we're going to smash the next other half and choose some more breakout players. Maybe we'll stick on defense this time. Where's everyone? See, the chat moves that fast. It's insane. G'day, Yuli. What's going on? G'day, Claude. G'day, Jamie. G'day, Pittsburgh Toddy. G'day, Gene. Who else I'm catching up? G'day, John. What's every team runs jet sweeps? Who else I got in here? I think I saw Maddie was in here too. Oh, Maddie or Marty. Maddie's in here somewhere. If I miss anyone, I do apologize. Jeremiah Yodas, he's on the hype train too. He says, "Hey Mark, you can book this. Kenny Pickett will lead the Steelers franchise to a 7th Lombardi." Eh?
Here we go.
Could you imagine? Like, you know what the best thing? If the Steelers win it, it doesn't matter what anyone says the next year. Your team sucks. Yeah, we won it last year. Fair enough.
That's it. We just got to get it done.
Hope so. We've got Tina Williams here too. G'day, Tina. Who else did I miss there? I think Toddy had a good comment as well. Oh, that's right. He's thinking about naming a couple of dogs. Going to name them Hooley and Dooley.
Love that.
Alrighty. Okay. And g'day, Darkstorm. What is going on? Okay. Quick break. I'm going to bring this up. I'm telling you right now. Is this not David Letterman?
Oh, I mean, you're not wrong. That could be.
If that one doesn't say it is, this one. It's him, mate.
Yeah, okay. yeah.
It's him.
Could be.
Or it's just some random old bloke I was hugging.
That also could be the case.
Or some random old bloke that I was, he bought me shots. Now, the story is, I'll keep this photo here for a little bit so we can set the scene. The story was I was in Banff in some bar, and people were running around the bar saying, David Letterman's here. I'm like, no, he's not. And then I found that this bloke was him, right? And then they had like 2 security guards with him, right? And the thing was, when he had the 2 security guards, he started getting a little bit funny because people started to notice who he was. If it was David Letterman, okay? Then he had to play the whole thing, I am David Letterman, like taking autographs, shaking hands, doing shots, stuff. Then near the end, it got that busy where he had like 20, 30 people around him. He had to go back and say, well, it's not me. I'm just a business guy. And I was like, I don't know, dude. You look like him.
He looks like him. But yeah. Could go either way.
But he didn't have the beard or whatnot. And the only thing was kind of like, obviously I'm drunk and stuff like that. But he had like security guards. I'm like, what kind of businessman has security guards? And it did. It was the ones that stood around, look like this, like that's just the scene all the time. So
yeah, right.
So odd and weird, man. But I was like, what are you doing in Banff? So I don't know if it was him or not. It's just kind of funny. That's me. That's me. What, 7 years younger? Far out.
Right.
I'm looking good there, having a few beers. With my mate Lionel there too. It was fun, man. It was a good time, but that took me ages to find. Let me see what the chat says about that. But anyways, we might take a bit of a break. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this one I always play. I love it. I freaking love it. Right? Where is it? It's the Steelers. Hey? It's the Herbig. You know the Herbig when he came out and said, "I'm happy to be here." Take a quick break and I'll be right back.
It's the Steelers. What isn't there about it? It's everywhere. Man, I'll play punter if they want me to. Whatever coach tells me, I'll play. Man, I love football. I love to play the game of football. I'm ready to play football. And I'm happy to be here. Just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this team. So I'm happy to be here. I love the game of football. I think it's an art. I think it should be played a certain way. And that's why I love to play the game. I just love football.
Alrighty, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. And Gene's gonna ruin my day. He says the hairline is wrong. No, you ruined it.
Could be right.
You know, I was this close to meeting Mel Gibson as well in Whistler. This close.
Yeah, right.
My staff that I was working with, the girls that I work with, cleaning the dishes up and stuff, they didn't tell me he was there. Now, I don't know about you, but as an Australian, as a bloke, I just like, hey, I'd say what's up. I clear off his toast.
It's Mel Gibson.
Would you do it? Would you do it? Yeah.
Of course.
Because everyone, they said to me after that they were nervous. I was like, I wouldn't be nervous. I'd just go clear his plate and say, "G'day, Mel, how's it going?" Shake his hand. That's what what most blokes would do. But no one told me he was in there because it's a big restaurant. I was like, you didn't tell me that Mel Gibson was here? The leader of Braveheart? Like, man, The Patriot, like one of the best movies ever. You know, Lethal Weapon.
And just an Aussie legend growing up.
Yeah, like Mad Max. So that was frustrating. I found it at lunch 3 hours later that two girls said, "Did you see Mel Gibson?" And I was like, no one told me about that. And I was like, couldn't believe it. Damn. So, all right, let's get into some more breakout players, and we'll stick to the defense. Who do you think this year is going to break out on defense? Who do you want to see have like a big year and really take control?
Look, I mean, we've seen it from this guy before, but I want to see TJ have another amazing season like he did 2 years ago. I want a healthy TJ. We all know how important a healthy TJ Watt is to our team, right? And to our defense. So I'd love to see that. I'd love for him just to have not a breakout season because he's done it before, but just have a monster of a season.
A comeback season, pretty much.
Yeah, a comeback season. Yeah, especially after last year, right? If we can get him through the season healthy, I mean, at least get him to like, I don't know, 15 games or something like that, because he's bound to miss a couple.
He's going to miss some of them for sure. It's going to happen with some injuries and stuff like that. But in that MVP season, which he was also still robbed by the last sack on Lamar Jackson, he could have had 20. Did you remember seeing that? They definitely robbed him. He had that. Yeah. Like, that was meant to break, I think, Strahn's record of 20.5. And they're like, you know what? No, we're not going to give that to you. And that would have broke it. So, but he could have a big chance this year breaking the sack record. But also on the other side, you got Highsmith too. So you got the two fellas together. For me, I'm very similar in that aspect too. But I always forget about the big stars because they always do stuff. You know what I mean? It's like the Cameron Hayward. Cameron Hayward now, his years are coming towards the end, and it's at the point you're like, I'm going to miss watching him. A bit like Maurkice Pouncey when he played at center. We had him at center for like 10 years, and the next minute he retires after the Browns game, and you go, shoot. Then we had Kendrick Green. It was like nuts. So everything went backwards. Who else do you think on defense going to be like a breakout? Maybe like a newer player.
Reading a lot about DeMarvin Leal. I'm hoping he has an amazing year.
And he was injured too last year as well.
Yeah, he was. Lots of hype about him from some of the tape I've seen. He could be an absolute beast on that defensive front. Expecting huge things from him. Our new guys as well. I mean, we can go through the whole defense again if we want to.
Well, the thing with Leal is he played pretty well in the first few games. He put his paw up to get the pass deflections. He did stand out in a few games. Then he got injured. I think he injured his wrist or something like that. I don't know what he injured, but he was injured out for a few games and then kind of like, sat back into the depth chart there. They went and got Keanu Benton. I think Benton will play a key role in this part too. But I think Royalt is there. But that's also like what the Steelers are doing. What I see on defense is they got obviously Cameron Hayward on one side, Ogunjobi on the other. Benton can play the middle. Montravius Adams, I don't know what he's going to do this year, but Braden Fajoko I think might be a big nose tackle too. He's the big guy from the Chargers. He's the guy that I don't know if you saw it like a few weeks ago that Braden Fajoko did the haka. Like does the haka,
yes,
and like that stuff, man. If he does the haka in Pittsburgh, the whole Pittsburgh will collapse. Like it'll just fall down, man. Like there's something about the haka, as we know, being Australians versus New Zealanders. When we see that, even if it's in like big competition or local areas, I once saw the haka on a boat on a Bucks party. These big fellas just started doing the haka, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yes,
I was like nervous, intimidated, and excited all at the same time. And those fellas eat. Like when we had like the spread, like they gave out like the food for the night times, and then like the strippers came after and stuff like that. I had to jump in first because I knew these fellas were getting like food on food on food on food, man. And they did like the big haka, and I was like, I'm either in a safe place because I have them with me if something goes down, or if something goes down, I'm going to be on the other side of it because it was those points. Like they were massive. So yeah, man. Braden Fajoko's in there, I think as well. Yeah, Leo, I think it's gonna be fun to see him play because he was injured, I think, for like 4 or 5, maybe. I think he played a few games. What about who would be another? Maybe I'll just shoot you one. This guy's been climbing the ranks too. What about Mark Robinson? Have you seen any stuff on him recently?
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit. I mean, we've got high hopes for everyone on our team, right? But
I know, right?
We do. We are Steelers fans after all. Yeah, I hope he provides some extra depth there. Great tackler. Yeah, I just hope they all put it together.
Yeah, Mark Robinson. So he's climbing, like last year in 2022, he started 2 games. So it was the whole Devin Bush experiment, Devin Bush, stuff like that. And
exactly.
That failed. That didn't work. And he's now a Seahawk. But Mark Robinson started playing that role, I think at middle linebacker next to Miles Jack, and he got 9 tackles, 2 games. He started, I think, like 90% of the game, something like that. So I think he will push his way into third inside linebacker behind Atlanta Roberts and Holcomb, who those are the 2 blokes who were captains from their respective teams, being Washington, I think the Patriots. I think as well that Roberts was a Super Bowl champion with the Patriots, I think, anyway, something like that, or the Buccaneers, I'm not too sure. Right. But I think he's going to be behind those guys because he also used to be, I don't know if you know, he also used to be a running back, right?
Yeah, right, okay.
So he was a running back in the day. He's transformed into a linebacker. And what better linebacker do you have than someone who knows how to hit the holes than on the opposite side, right? So in his mind, if he sees a guy come with the ball, he knows what their tendencies are or where the hole might be. He'll probably see the line shift a certain way or move certain parts of their arm or their legs move a different way and go, okay, the runner's going to go this way and shoot the gap. He's one of my top ones. I think I did 5 the other day. I can't remember. I had Warren up there because Warren's fantastic. I've got Warren for 1,000K. I've also got Mark, and that's probably not going to happen, but I'm just like optimistic. I got Mark Robinson to have a chance for a big year to put himself on that Pittsburgh Steelers map. I think that can work out. I had Darnell Washington, I had Kenny Pickett, and one other bloke I can't remember. I can't remember who other bloke I had. But no, you're right. If we get that guy back there, like we've had that's been the middle linebacker position has been a big spot ever since Ryan Shazier went down, right?
Absolutely.
That's an awful thing. They haven't really tackled the middle linebacker position at all in the recent years. They tried the experiment with Miles Jack. They tried the experiment with Devin Bush. Robert Spillane was in there. Do you remember seeing Robert Spillane hit Derrick Henry? You remember seeing that hit?
Yeah, I do. Dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you hear it from Melbourne?
Yeah, just about. I like Spillane in there. He was a presence.
Yeah. Some people didn't though. I don't know why. I liked him too. I thought he was just a guy that just wanted to tackle, right? Just a bloke wanted to hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think we've got like 3 newish faces in there that just love to tackle and love to hit. Right?
Yeah.
Watching some Landon Roberts highlights, he just wants to tackle and bring down guys. Yeah,
and that's
straight down.
That's the difference, right? I think to the last few years, Devin Bush, like I don't play football. I play pickleball. It's non-contact. But even I feel like I can run there and tackle. Sometimes you see some plays where he would step back, you know. I'm going to bring up some comments, though. Jamie says you guys are hilarious. Thank you, Jamie, mate. Much appreciate that. Got any questions for Nick? This is the Nick show. We're going to find out what Nick knows. All right. Any questions for Nick? Shoot them through. And Jamie says, I'd be down Mark Robinson being that standard. I think he could. Look, and they've done it the right way. They've done the Pittsburgh Steeler way, where they didn't throw him in right away at middle linebacker. They've kind of let him learn the system throughout the year. And in the last 2 games he started, and he's a 6th rounder or 7th round pick, something like that from last year. And if he gets a chance to have a behind Atlanta Roberts, like he's a veteran guy from the Patriots, and someone can let me know. I think he did get a Super Bowl with one of them too, right? Behind that and feed in and then take over their job. I reckon he's going to be key for this defense too. Jeremiah Yoda says Najee for 1,000. Connor, oh my goodness, you want Connor too?
Connor for 1,000. Let's go.
What, rushing? I think. Oh man, we're gonna have the number 1 offense in the league. Don't forget about I actually think Jalen Warren can get 1,000. I did the calculations the other day. Jalen Warren needs, or any back really needs, 65 yards a game. That's what they need. 65 yards a game gets you 1,000.
Yep.
If you play 16 games, I think it's about that to get 1,000 yards. So Pickens. Or what? Actually, we didn't even talk George Pickens. Okay.
We didn't talk George Pickens, and we can't not talk about Calvin Austin as well.
Yeah, all right. Let's start with Calvin Austin then. The rookies, not rookie. What are your thoughts on Calvin Austin coming into this year?
I'm really excited. Really excited from what I've seen from him on tape. I think Patrick Peterson said the other day, he's like, that joker's fast. He's so quick. I think he's going to provide us. I mean, obviously he's going to fall in our kind of like 4th wide receiver spot, not take the field every snap. But he's quick, man. Maybe we get him in the return game or stuff like that. He can catch the ball. Obviously unlucky last season. He had foot surgery, got injured in preseason. But as Steelers fans, we know how well we do drafting and like developing wide receivers. So I'm high on him, and I hope he gets to see the field
until they go crazy. Like they're around, then they're fine. I got a question here from Gene. I don't know if that's to do with your haircut. What do you shave with a Bowie knife? What's that?
Not with a knife, mate. That's a little dangerous.
Is that like the Australian? Is he talking about the Australian knife?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is that like that's not a knife? You get what the Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah, that's what goes to my mind too.
Wait, they're thinking you go down to the local river, get them to start going something out of Rambo, man.
That's it.
Oh my goodness.
No,
these guys are
not the case.
Classic. Do you do the thing where you look at the sun and go, "Oh yeah, it's 2 p.m."
No, I can't do that.
I've tried. No. I tried that in the States once with some ladies, and it actually worked. I don't know if they felt sorry for me, but I'll like, we'll go hang out with him now. He's cool. I was like, yeah, it's about check your phone 2 p.m. Okay. What about Brian Brown says, Nick, have you seen?
I reckon I have, but he'd be high on the list these days for sure. Absolutely.
When I saw him walk out with a headband, I was like, are you trying to be a cool? I think Kenny Pickett is like the cooler version of like Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Like Kenny Pickett acts cool, and like he's a normal, confident bloke, and just how it is. I feel like Joe Burrow is trying to be the cool one. Like I don't know. He has got a very smackable head. That is fine.
I mean, I will say one thing about Joe. I know this is a Steelers podcast. He has got them to a Super Bowl. So
yes.
So let's hope.
But he's also lost one too.
Yes.
I got to show you this though. I don't know if I should. Okay, let's do one little more break, and we're going to get some more questions after this break. And I know I showed it before, but I do have a video on the run, and it is funny. It goes for 40 seconds. But after this, we'll do some question time with Nick. All Steelers questions, and we'll do this. But this is the reason why I hate the Bengals. On the almost fell off. How do I get on there? Oh fuck!
Did you throw that? Oh my Jesus!
All right. I just play that because I just want a bit of a break too, but that is funny. No, he does have a smackable head. TJ, you know what's so cool about the Joe Burrow thing? Have you seen the last few years that TJ has like this actual like hate towards him? Have you seen that? Did you see the one where there was a pick by Minka, I think it was last year, and he ran down Burrow to chase him down and like to fight him in a block. And if you go through the YouTube like rabbit holes, you'll find one where TJ actually talks about it, and he says, well, at that point he became a football player, and he wanted to diverse him, and he was holding up Joe Burrow like this, and then he said to the camera, he said, well, once Joe made a move, I finished it. And he just like tugs him right to the ground. So I'm excited to see that matchup again. TJ Watt, healthy, versus Joe Burrow.
Please,
like
absolutely.
He's picked him off, I think, 3 times in his career or 2 times in his career, just by jumping back and go.
Yeah, that game 1 last year was phenomenal. Our defense was on fire. TJ was an absolute beast.
Game 1 last year, I almost fell over because 3 times because they missed the field goal, then we missed one, and then you know what I mean. It was back and forth. It was crazy. We shouldn't have won that game, but we did near the end. I got a question here from Gene. It says, favorite? Oh, I should ask you this one. Favorite steal of all time?
Oh, good question. Going back, I'm gonna go Franco Harris.
Yeah, true.
Obviously, only being a Steelers fan since like early 2000s, right? But I've gone back. I've watched the old Super Bowls, the NFL films, and stuff like that. Franco Harris was an absolute legend. Tragic what happened last year, but I'm going to go with Franco.
I respect that too. I think that's a really good answer because when you do get over there, when you go to, and I'll give you some links where to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers or Heinz History Museum, right? I think it's still called that. It might be called something else now because Heinz was in there, but the History Museum does a great tribute to the Immaculate Reception, right? You walk into this place, right? And it's like surrounded by a big screen TV. You sit there for 2 minutes, you hear all this, the Steelers, and it goes on loop. You know, those kind of museums. So when you get there, you'll see all that stuff. If you fly into Pittsburgh, you'll see the Franco Harris catch, stuff like that. You can even go to the stadium where you see where the actual football was caught. Like they have like a little not a memorial, but like a little statue piece there. So yeah, I agree with that. I think, and he was a guy that I think when the news did break, and it was so unfortunate that he missed out on his game that it was 2 days before. Just unlucky timing how that happened, but he was a fantastic player, not only for the community too. I think he would have been a bloke, right? If you and I walked past him and said hello and shook his hand, he would have been there for 5-10 minutes, right? He's the kind of guy that will give you time of day.
Couldn't agree more. Seemed like the nicest guy. Yeah.
Yeah. You could sense that off even in like just the interviews he did with the Hall of Fame, or when he's on TV or when he was talking to people, and just the other people, even through the comments I read when he did pass away, you saw these things were like, yeah, he'll give you 5 minutes and talk to you. And it's like, he was the guy, like he was Pittsburgh. So I'm so glad they retired his number, but I respect that answer, man. Cause there is a lot, like my favorite now is I think of all time is Debo Harrison, just the way he played. I think he's a fantastic guy.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. For more recent years, Debo for me too. Yeah. Just an absolute beast, absolute legend.
He's unreal. Like, you ever see him do those ones where he pushes like those weights, like 700-pound weights or whatever it's like from one field to the other?
Those workout videos are insane. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's playing with his kids and he just like throws them up to like out of space. Oh man, it's insane. All right, I got another question. I got a few. Keep feeding the questions through. It's kind of fun. Where are we? We got one from Toddy86. Ooh boy, who wins in a fight, Debo or Porter? Peasy.
Joey Porter?
Yeah.
Ooh, like that's a tough one. I'm gonna go Debo.
Yeah, right. I was actually gonna go Joey Porter. I think he might be a bit more faster in a fight.
Yeah, he would be faster.
You know what? They would probably be if you found those two blokes in an alley or like in a bad situation. You'd be so scared. Like, imagine in a ring, in a boxing ring, if it was like tag team style, Debo and Joey Porter Peasy, they shot me in never. Oh, you know, those guys, they would absolutely clean you up.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting in. I'm not getting in between that. That's for sure.
Debo and Peasy, a fight. I think the world would explode if that happened. But
I think it would.
yeah, they would find a way though. They would be like, you know what? We're not going to fight each other. We're going to fight the nearest person. Whoever asks that question, they're going to fight. So look out, Toddy. All right. All right. Let's see if we've got any. John Bell says Debo. Yeah. Okay. And that's right. That's right. Joey Porter Peasy fought. He fought
That's
all the
true.
Ratbirds. He went on the bus.
Yeah.
He ran on the bus, and he also, I think, from last episode I was doing this too. We talked about Peasy as well. On the halfway line, he ran over. It's just like, yeah, crazy. Oh, good question. I like this. We're gonna feed in the wrestling. What is the best tag team combo for the Steelers? You think? We'll try and do current Steelers. Try and do current Steelers.
Okay.
You think?
So current roster or like recent years?
Let's do current roster. We'll do right now.
Oh, the current roster. Najee and Jalen Warren.
Oh, you go on the speedy combo. You're not going the big brutes. Okay. You go on like the high flying Rey Mysterio kind of combo. Yeah, right.
I just think as a combo for our team and the way we can utilize them going forward.
Do you reckon they're seen as underrated, those two, because they're not getting talked about at all in the NFL media?
I think the Steelers overall were getting underrated last year. I mean, we had like a bit of an up and down season, but yeah, we weren't talked about much until like those last few games. But definitely Najee and Jalen have been underrated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for me, if I'm going to do a tag team combo, because like you feed the wrestling stuff, and I used to watch when I was a kid and stuff like that, but I probably think more defense. I have to say Cameron Hayward. I think he's going to be one of them. I think, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say Cameron Hayward and Calvin Austin. There's one for you. That's something different. You know what I'm saying? Rod says Watt and TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick. There you go too. So, yeah, you know what? If they made a game like that, and they won't because there's no more creative games anymore, but a wrestling like Steelers game or wrestling NFL game where you could be wrestlers in the ring but actual players and have like moves like that would be kind of cool.
That'd be fun.
Jamie says Mark Robinson and Cam Hayward. I can see that too. We'll give John a bit of time. Yeah, this is the one where I think like our fantasy brains start to go kaboom.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
You know. What do you think? What do you think about this year, though? We'll start to wrap it in the next 5 minutes. Start to wrap it up. But what do you think about this year? Where the Steelers are you confident, and how many wins do you think they'll get?
I'm confident, but like quietly confident. To say Kenny's quote again, we've got the talent, we've got the players, we've got to go execute. So it's on us now. It's on us from top down. Wins. We've got an easier schedule than we had last year.
Much easier,
which is good. We got those. We do have an early bye though. I think it was week 6.
6, yes.
Yeah. So we do have an early bye, and we've got those 2 Thursday night games as well. So 2 short breaks. So it's going to be tricky to manage. But look, I'm hopeful for like a 10+ win season, 10, 11 games. Yeah. I mean, we won 9 games last year, right? So we got to make a jump with the moves that we've made. We have to see some sort of improvement. Yeah,
I agree. I think everything. I think a lot of Steel fans have that same notion that where they had a rebuilding, retooling year in 2022. It was Mitch Trubisky starting at the start. Now he's going to be full. He's back up for sure. Rudolph's going to be back up too. You won't see Rudolph unless those two get injured. Knock on wood. You won't see him. They won't see him, right? So you have Trubisky now being the guy behind the scenes going, you know what? Okay, I can be back up. It's cool. I like that. That's my role. Kenny Pickett and him are mates now too. They're mates, which is good. They're mates. Yeah. So you love that. He wants him to be successful. And what's better than Trubisky getting like $10 million or $8 million a season just by being back up? You know what I'm saying? You can still win. You can still. There have been some good backups in history that have played a very long time in the NFL just by being that supporting cast, and they haven't been the guy on the field. But that's fine. Everyone needs a good backup. So from last year, the rebuilding staff, retooling, Steelers don't do that. We were now in a position where Omar Khan went absolutely off, went to the free agent stuff, got everyone in, and then he got draftees in too. This to me, I think is the minimum. I think is 10 wins. I think that's probably minimum. And then anything more than that, it should be fine. But you look at the schedule, man, and I know you've seen this too, but it's like it's easier. Cardinals should be a win. Packers don't have Rodgers. Jaguars are a better team now, of course, but at the same time, you can still beat them. Patriots, you can beat them. San Fran, I think you can beat them in week 1. It's probably the best time to play them. Titans are regressing. They're not the best team. In our division, I think you can go 4-2 or even 5-1. I think you can sweep the Ravens. You can sweep the Browns. Did you know in the last 3 or 4 years, the Steelers are 5-1 versus the Ravens?
Really? There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I know. It's a misconception that people think, oh, we're always 1-on-1 with them. We're 5-1. The only we lost in the last 3 years was that Trubisky game.
Yeah. That's right.
Right,
That's
and
right.
we should have won that. So we can sweep the Ravens. The Bengals will probably go 1-on-1 in my opinion. The Browns, I think, will sweep them. I think they're going backwards. Texans, they got a new rookie quarterback. Also, too, did you know that I got to find the stat too? That Mike Tomlin is like 26, I think 26-4 or 26-5 against rookie quarterbacks.
All right.
Did you know that? Yep. So when we're going to play, we're going to play Texans with a rookie quarterback, and we're going to play Anthony Richardson with the Colts, rookie. Then we're going to, so we can win those games. The Raiders game, I think we're playing Jimmy G. It all depends if Jimmy G comes out of the strip parlor. He's been offered a lifetime membership to go have sex, which is insane. The only quarterback in the world does besides the other bloke. The Rams, they put all their money into the Super Bowl. They can definitely be taken care of. Actually, the only one that really threatens me the most is probably Seahawks. Pete Carroll and the Seahawks that way, they just play differently. And I like Geno Smith being an older guy, but all those games are winnable. They're all winnable games, right?
Yep.
And here we are. They're like, everyone's saying you can't win. So it's crazy to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think you're right. 10 wins is what we have to aim for as a minimum. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll see if we have any more questions and we'll start to wrap it up. It's been a fantastic show so far. Jeremiah Yoda says, James Debo Harrison for the... Oh, exactly. 110%. That's going to happen.
Yes.
Who else we got there? John Pell says, Lambert and Ham. There you go. The original tag team.
Okay.
They would have been...
That's a mean duo.
You seen that bloke's face where he's like teeth missing and stuff like that?
Yep.
You just don't know what to do with it, do you? You're just like, this is why Steeler Nation is so good. Okay, any more questions? And I think we have, g'day Josh, what's going on? And I think we have that could be the next one too, actually, retiring Bradshaw. I got my Bradshaw jersey back there. Got that from an op shop. Here we go. So Josh says, who you got with that? So I've got my mate Nick from Melbourne. He is a good bloke. He is a good bloke, Josh. Mate. Last podcast, we were talking about bloke and how to use bloke for about 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we start to wrap it up? Anything you're looking forward to in the season? Anything like that?
Yeah, just thanks for having me on. I'm just looking forward to the season to start. I mean, the off season takes so long, and I just want to watch some football. Let's get down to it.
Yeah, you're pretty pumped up.
Yeah, but ready to go. Absolutely.
And like me too, man. You watch your football at what, 3 a.m. or 4, 5? When do you try and watch it if you can?
It's hard for us here, isn't it? Yeah, so those early games start at like 3 for us. And then I think it switches to 5 when daylight savings changes. So yeah, we're up in the middle of the night watching these football games sometimes. Fortunately, we've got access to Game Pass, so we can watch games on demand later in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tricky being a Steelers fan down in Oz, that's for sure.
Well, I always say we're a day in front, right? We're 15 hours in front, but in the NFL land, we're 9 hours behind. Because every time I wake up and every time you wake up, when Debo Harrison was traded to the Patriots, I woke up and went, no. I was like, no, because I didn't know.
Yeah.
We slept through it. So yeah, we're 15 hours in front compared to like LA and stuff. But then in the news cycle, this time right now is the American, I think 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. So they've had their American day of news while we slept. So the only time that I really ever see current news with the NFL is when I'm awake at 3 and when I wake up to do the live streams and that kind of stuff. And even then I wake up and have a shower. I look like a zombie. Like I just look like I'm not meant to be here. I'm happy to be here, but I look like a damn zombie. But like, you know what the thing is though? We still love our stuff enough. And I think for you, it's been awesome chatting with you. Stick around for a little bit once I end the stream, but it's been awesome chatting with you because you have that Steelers passion in you. And that's what we want, right? And when you go over to Pittsburgh and you meet everyone and you go and they go, where are you from? Because they don't know you until you, because the funny thing is, you and I are American until we speak, right?
Well,
We
yeah,
walk around,
true.
we all look American unless we have that like Australian swagger and we're wearing like, the hat on and stuff like that. We've got the knife out and whatnot and something, but we probably get in trouble. But you and I are American until we speak. And then when they say, hey, mate, how's it going? Or they say, hello there, welcome to Applebee's. You're like, hey, man, can I get a bourbon and Coke? And they're like, what? Are you from Australia? You're like, yeah, man, let's go. Let's party. So you're going to have the best time. Like, you're going to have, and make sure you keep us up to date too. It would be fantastic. If you're over there, I could even get you on the stream again. And I don't know.
Absolutely.
The amount of fun you're going to have is being around 65,000 people is insane. Like when I was there, man, it was like the best. It was just the best time. And I think if you got Kenny Pickett versus Mac Jones or the Patriots Thursday night game, and we're in a chance where what's that week? That's like week 14, right? Or 15?
Yeah, it's week 14, I think. Yeah.
So where hopefully could be 9 wins or 10 or something, or maybe 9 or 8 or something like that, then you'd be like getting around the chance to win one more and playoff standings, that kind of stuff. That's going to be like
huge,
division worthy, that kind of stuff. So
Jeremiah
Diaz says, ride the hype train, 110%. Anyways, we're going to end it there. I always try to mind doing about an hour or so. So thank you, Nick, for coming on, mate. That was fantastic.
Thanks, Mike.
And I'll see you guys later. Thank you for joining the Steelers Nation Australia. And let me play this one more time. I like to play. You know what? I'll play this one. I like this one too. I'll see you later.
All right. Watch out. Let's go, baby. That's awesome. Woo! Kenny, what's up? Hey, what you doing tonight, man? Y'all watching TV? What y'all got going on? Hey, you ready to come back to Oakland? Hey, we're about to make you a Pittsburgh Steeler, brother. Congratulations to you and your family. Bro, we're excited to have you, man. This is awesome.